Authority has commenced investigations into recent cases of abductions of Kenyans on X, with their rapid response teams visiting with abductees' families in Othero, Ngong and Embu to unravel the circumstances surrounding the abductions.
Over the last 5 days, the country has been treated to one case of abduction after another. It started with the abduction of Peter Muteti in Udhiru on Saturday morning, followed by Billy Mwangi's abduction in Embu on Saturday afternoon. And the script moved to Ngong on Sunday evening, where Bernard Kavuli was picked by abductors. It is a trend that has caught the eye of the Independent Police Oversight Authority.
It is now very clear that the police has come out to announce that it is not in connection with the abductions in Kenya. Through a public communication, the police was very clear to say that it is not involved in the abduction. So it shows that there is men within the state that are perpetuating abductions, and it is good for Police IG Karanja. The purpose of this video, I've come out to show you the people who abduct people. And the person who heads this abduction team is none other than FAROUK KIBET, Dictator Ruto's AD, who's abiding and aiding abductions so that people who speak against the government can be stressed out and stop to oppose William Ruto. We all know that in the past few months, there has been rampant abductions in Probox and Subarus. And a country like Kenya, which is the biggest democracy in Kenya, the biggest democracy in East Africa, cannot sit when these acts of dictatorship are being perpetuated. To show you that the police are sidelined itself from the abductions, and that it is the people within the state who are perpetuating this, it came out with a communication saying, and I quote, clarification on the alleged abductions of National Police Service. The National Police Service is deeply concerned with the ongoing allegation that police officers are involved in abductions of persons in Kenya. For clarity, the constitutional mandate of the National Police Service is not to abduct but arrest criminal offenders. The procedure, as per the service standing order, informs that all arrests be recorded in the occurrence book for subsequent arraignment in courts of law. Otherwise, the suspect be released from police custody if they fail to meet the procedural threshold. For avoidance of doubt, the National Police is not involved in any abduction, and there is no police station in the country that is holding the reported abductees. Whereas Kenya is a democratic country that guarantees freedom of expression, freedom not only comes with certain limitations, but should all times be exercised with utmost responsibility. We therefore appeal to the public to refrain from spreading false, fabricated, malicious, deceitful, misinformed and unverified information aimed at tarnishing the reputation and image of the National Police Service. The matter in question is subject to investigation by Independent Policing Oversight Authority and any other independent body. We appeal to anybody with relevant information about the missing person to report to the nearest police station. The National Police Service retaliates its commitment to serve and protect all persons. Douglas Kanja, Kirocho, MGSCB Ogi, Inspector General of Police. That was a communication which was done by Inspector General of Police saying that they are not involved in abductions. So here, the Inspector General of Police is coming out to wash his hands that is not involved in abductions. So it means that the state is doing this job. You want to tell me that first Kenyan is abducted, the second one is abducted, the third, the fourth, etc., when the government is not in the know? So it means that there is someone who is perpetuating these abductions. And my sources tell me that this abduction team is headed by FAROUK KIBET, one of these dangerous men, the AD of the president who doesn't want opposition in Kenya. So what Karanja is doing is trying to wash his hands so that even if he leaves the position of the IG, he will say that I wrote a letter saying that he is not involved in the abductions. Because remember, these opposition activists are dealing with the state. And such heinous acts are done by people in the state who want to bypass the police, because they know if the police arrest those people, they won't have a conviction in the courts. So they rather abduct him to threaten other people who would speak about the same. That's the truth. So in this episode, I've come to talk about the team which was led by FAROUK KIBET in the abducting of Kenyans, what it means for our country, and most importantly, the study materials we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want you to know that if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. First of all, it is true that there are a lot of abductions. Even before this season, I think from when the Gen Zs came on the streets, even before that, we used to see rampant abductions. What pains me more is that William Ruto stood on the podium of fighting abductions during the Uhuru era, but he's doing even worse. I think William Ruto is doing every worst thing. Ruto is doing every worst thing that was done by Uhuru, which is so unfortunate. Okay, various news have come out to indicate that there are a lot of abductions within Nairobi. Very many people have been abducted. In fact, I want to play a video which was done by Citizen TV. Thank you very much for giving me content, but I want to play you a video which was done by Citizen TV talking about abductions in Kenya. In fact, listen to this tape very carefully. Here is the tape.
And the Independent Police Oversight Authority has commenced investigations into recent cases of abductions of Kenyans on X, with their rapid response teams visiting with abductees' families in Othero, Ngong, and Embu to unravel the circumstances surrounding the abductions. IPOA Chairperson Isaac Hassan has confirmed 4 reported cases, which they are pursuing to establish whether police were involved, as has been alleged, and recommend action to be taken. The probe comes even as another family in Nandi County raised the alarm over 2 brothers' abductions, that is Gideon Kibet, alias Kibet Bull on X, and Rooney Kiplagat, who went missing in Kikuyu, Kiambu, under mysterious circumstances. Gatete Njoroge reports on events that have left Kenyans in fear and shock.
Over the last 5 days, the country has been treated to one case of abduction after another. It started with the abduction of Peter Muteti in Udhiru on Saturday morning, followed by Billy Mwangi's abduction in Embu on Saturday afternoon. And the script moved to Ngong on Sunday evening, where Bernard Kavuli was picked by abductors. It is a trend that has caught the eye of the Independent Police Oversight Authority, which has launched investigations. IPOA Chairperson Isaac Hassan says they are concerned and are pursuing 4 cases of abductions in the last 5 days. Hassan adds that officers have been dispatched to different locations where the victims were taken from to probe the circumstances under which they were taken.
So you clearly see that they are talking not about 1, 2, 3, but many abductions. And most of these were held on camera. So the police letter, which was written by the IG, is trying to wash his hands that the state is abducting people. And for me, Kenyans should know that there is a chamber in FAROUK KIBET house where these abductees are taken. You saw FAROUK KIBET's house, a big one. There is a dungeon where they are taken to be tortured, mentally, psychologically, some physical. Okay, some physical, in a bid to derail them, in a bid to instill fear in the Kenyans who are speaking ill about government. So these things are caught on camera, not once, not twice. Okay, I remember even one of the opposition leaders from Uganda, Kizza Besigye, was abducted in Kenya. So you want to tell me that the authorities from within Kenya don't know people who are abducting people? Trust me, if the president wanted to put this to stop, he would do it in that flinch of a finger. But I think it is a scheme to instill fear so that people of Kenya can be subjugated, not knowing that people of Kenya fighters, they fought more, so you cannot threaten them. Let's continue.
IPOA says where fault is found, it will make recommendations for prosecution or internal disciplinary action. The probe comes even as 3 abductees celebrated Christmas in the hands of their abductors, despite calls for their release from the Law Society of Kenya, church and political leaders. 2 persons are listed as missing with no conclusive evidence of their abduction as yet. A family in Nandi County is concerned that their family members could have been abducted in a similar manner. The family of Gideon Kibet, alias Kibet Bull on X platform, who is known for using cartoon silhouettes to critique the president, says he has been missing since Tuesday after attending an event in Nairobi where he last spoke to a friend.
So you clearly see that abductions are instigated by the state, are instigated by those who are fighting with William Ruto. They should do it within the law. I keep on telling people that even if someone does wrong, the best way is come, bring a arrest warrant, inform his LOC chairperson or his LOC leader, okay? Come during the day, take him to police, okay? File a case, take him to court. The issue of abducting is being gotten from Yoweri Kaguta Museveni from Kenya, because you all know Ruto is a friend to Museveni. So they are trying to instill fear in Kenya so that they can stop fighting for their country. In fact, Kasongo William Ruto is realizing that the center cannot hold, that 2027 is going to go in the history as the first one-term president after failing to fulfill the expectations of very many Kenyans. So it's not good for Kenyans to be abducted. It is not good for the state to come out and threaten people in that way. Okay? In fact, Babu Owino, a leader from Nairobi, came out to say that they are going to get new ways of tackling abductors, since the police is now coming out to to wash its hands as not in the abducting process. I think Kenyans must now take on the abductors. If you see someone being abducted, hit the guys, because they are doing it unconstitutional. And if you want to know, you should go to FAROUK KIBET's house. That's where the abductors are. I want to play a tape when Babu Owino was saying this. Here is the tape.
Thank you very much, fellow Kenyans. I want to take this opportunity to talk about the recent abductions. Abductions which are leaving families in pain, in agony. It is so sad for someone to get out of nowhere to abduct a child of a fellow Kenyan. These abductions have already been condemned by different leaders, and the Inspector General of Police has come out clearly saying that the police officers are not the ones who are abducting Kenyans. I want to tell you, Kenyans, that it is a high time to stop these abductions, and you know what to do. Do not request the president not to abduct people. You have the solution. Now that we have been told that it is the criminal gangs who are abducting Kenyans, we need to deal with these criminal gangs. You know what to do. Anything humanly possible, anything around you, any material around you should be used to protect a fellow Kenyan. We will not allow abductions as Kenyans. If you stopped President Ruto from signing the finance bill into an act, then you can stop a few group of people, 2 or 3, from abducting fellow Kenyans. Let us deal with these people decisively. Kenyans, let us ensure that no Kenyan suffers anymore. Thank you and God bless you.
So that is Babu Owino. Is bringing out a good idea of fighting the abductors, of going to their homes, and the first person to test this harshness is supposed to be FAROUK KIBET. FAROUK KIBET doesn't hold any position in government, but he disrespects leaders, he puts them in the line, he blocks them in State House. Now he's heading a team that is abducting Kenyans, especially those Kenyans who are coming out to call on government, okay, to critique government, to push government to work, to check government, because the opposition is in bed with UDA, okay? So FAROUK KIBET should desist from abducting Kenyans, because it is one of the most bad thing in Kenya. A democracy like Kenya must not suffer in these ill manners, okay? So I keep on telling people that the abduction won't stop until maybe people come on the streets and people hold, and also the people who are perpetrating this are held to account. And the first person to be held accountable is none other than FAROUK KIBET. Of course, that's my opinion. Do drop me your comments by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on this on YouTube channel, employ to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. See you on another one. Peace.